Bonjour year 3, comment ça va? How are you? I hope you've had a lovely week and you're ready for another French lesson. Well done to those of you who uploaded your work on Seesaw last week. I was very impressed with how well we've done with the work. I am still looking through a few of them, so just bear with me please if I haven't had a chance yet to see your work. But we are today going to be learning some new food words in French. We have already learned a few food items when we did the breakfast, when we learned about the breakfast and we had that picture with all the stars on, and you guys were trying to work out what was underneath all the stars. So you learned a few food words then, but we're going to learn a few more today. So the first thing I want you guys to do is you have got a list of the words in blue down the side. Now these are all food and drink items in French. And what I want you guys to do is go through each of them and find them in the word search. Now, once you've ticked each one off, so for example, once you found the first one, which is le lait, what I want you to do is next to the word, can you write an M if that word is a masculine word, an F if it is a feminine word, or a P if it is a plural word. Okay, so a little flashback from the lesson last week. Try and remember what team each word is on. So first job is to find the word, cross it off once you found it, and then you write the M, F, or P. And if you can't remember from last week, you've got some support here. So it says le is masculine, la is feminine, and les is plural. So I'm going to leave you guys to pause the video now and find the words in the word search. And once you've found them all, you can press play and we'll go through the answers. So hopefully you guys have finished now, and the first word you had to find was le lait. Now I'm not going to tell you what these words mean just yet because you guys are going to figure that out in a minute. But le lait was in this top row here, and you should have put an M for le lait because that is team masculine, and we know it because it's le. The word for the is le, L-E, so it's masculine, so you should have put an M. So if you got that, give yourself a tick. The next one was le fromage, and this was down the side here, again team M. Then we had le poulet here, again team M, because it's le. We have got a lot of team M's because the next one, le poisson, which is at the bottom here, is also team M. Then we had la glace, and that is actually team F, so make sure you put an F there because it's la, so it's feminine. Then we had le pain, and le pain was actually a word that we learnt in the breakfast topic, and we also learnt le lait in the breakfast topic as well. So those two words, and in fact les œufs and les fruits as well, which we'll come to in a minute, we learned those 4 words already. So maybe some of you remembered what those 4 words are. But anyway, le pain was here and it is team masculine. Le chocolat is here, team masculine. Le gâteau is here, team masculine. And the last 3, les œufs, les fruits, les légumes, are all on the same team, and that is team plural. So hopefully you put a P for the last 3, and we know this because it's les. The word for the is les, L-E-S. So that is team plural. And where are they in the word search? So les œufs is here. It was probably quite easy to find this one because it contains that little letter here, which is a bit unique. So if you just looked for that letter, you probably were able to find it. Anyway, les fruits was here and les légumes was here. So this is how the word search should be looking for you guys. Well done if you got all of those, okay? So we have now found all the words. Our job now is to figure out what they all mean. Now, to help you with this, when I went to the supermarket last time, I made a little bit of a vlog for you guys to watch, okay? And I did this vlog in French. So I'm going to play the video now, and I'll play it all the way through just so you guys can see what it's like. And then afterwards, I'm going to pause it in between so that you guys can hopefully write in what each word on the shopping list means in English, okay? So let's play it all the way through first. Coucou year 3, comment ça va? How are you? Je suis au supermarché. I'm at the supermarket. Voilà, Lulu, hypermarket, hypermarché. Pour faire mes courses, to do my grocery shopping. Donc, on y va, let's go. Regarde la pluie, look at the rain. Première chose sur la liste, first things on the list, du lait. Ensuite, next up, du fromage. Je veux du poulet. Voilà, le poulet. Après, je dois acheter du poisson. Je dois acheter du poisson. I have to buy du poisson. La glace. Wow, I like cookies and cream. Ça, c'est la glace. The next word is spelled like the word pain in English, but it's pain. Après, after, le chocolat. Ça, c'est le chocolat. Wow, look at les gâteaux. Ils sont les gâteaux. Les œufs. Il y a beaucoup des œufs. There's a lot of them. Finally, les légumes et les fruits. So that was the end of the video. What I'm going to do now is we'll do the first one together. So if I play the video again. Coucou year 3, comment ça va? How are you? Je suis au supermarché. I'm at the supermarket. Voilà, Lulu, hypermarket, hypermarché. Pour faire mes courses, to do my grocery shopping. Donc, on y va, let's go. Regarde la pluie, look at the rain. Première chose sur la liste, first things on the list. Okay, so the first thing on my shopping list was le lait, and you'll see I'm putting something in my trolley, in my basket I mean. So can you please write down, or next to le lait, what you think that means in English, okay, based on the video. So you might need to pause it here if you need some time for spellings and things. But once you've done that, I am going to play the rest of the video through again. And this time it's up to you to pause it where you need to, okay? So it does go quite fast. And if you miss something, you might have to rewind the video, move it back to catch it again, okay? But you can take as long as you need for this, okay? So again, I'm going to play it through. And this time you guys need to pause it if you need time to write in each item, okay? So, I'm going to play it through. Du lait. Ensuite, next up, du fromage. Je veux du poulet. Voilà, le poulet. Après, je dois acheter du poisson. Je dois acheter du poisson. I have to buy du poisson. La glace. Wow, I like cookies and cream. Ça, c'est la glace. The next word is spelled like the word pain in English, but it's pain. Après, after, le chocolat. Ça, c'est le chocolat. Wow, look at les gâteaux. Ils sont les gâteaux. Les œufs. Il y a beaucoup des œufs. There's a lot of them. Finally, les légumes et les fruits. Okay, so hopefully if you playing the video now, you've managed to get all those words written in. If there's a few that you didn't get, don't panic. As long as you have had a go, that's the main thing, okay? So the first one, le lait, we should have written was milk. Now, a few of you might have known that already from the breakfast, or you might have remembered it from the breakfast lesson that we did. So well done if you got le lait is milk, give yourself a tick. Le fromage was cheese. So again, give yourself some ticks if you got that. Le poulet is chicken. Le poisson was fish. La glace was ice cream. Le pain was bread. Again, we did this with the breakfast and we had the baguette on the table. So le pain is bread. Le chocolat, some of you might have been able to get that without even watching because it looks very similar to the English word. But le chocolat is chocolate. Le gâteau was cake. You saw all the cakes at Lulu, they were so delicious. I had to use all my power not to buy one because they looked so good. Les œufs was eggs. Les fruits was fruit. And les légumes was vegetables. Now on the video, les fruits and les légumes are the other way around. So if that confused you a little bit, if you put vegetables where it says fruit and fruit where it says vegetables, that's my fault. I did it wrong on the video. I put them in the wrong order, okay? But hopefully we managed to get all those food items and hopefully you all enjoyed my little supermarket vlog. If you did get them all right, you can do a little smiley face. Well done. Okay, so I'm now going to tell you a little life hack way to write some French sentences talking about what you ate, what you eat, and what you are going to eat in the future, okay? So this is called a sentence builder, and I'll explain how you use it in a minute. So let's imagine we have these 3 sentence starters. We've got hier, which means yesterday. We've got la semaine dernière, which means last week. And we've got l'année dernière, which means last year. So I'm going to give you guys a minute just to kind of think of what is common between these 3 words. If you think about the time that the words are talking about, what is common between those 3 times? Yesterday, last week, and last year. So hopefully you noticed that all those 3 are talking about things that happened in the past. Yesterday happened in the past, last week, past, last year, all happened past. It's done, it's happened now, okay? So when we're talking about things that we ate in the past, we need to find the French word for ate, okay? Because we don't say, for example, yesterday I eat or yesterday I am eating. And we don't say last week I'm going to eat, okay? For these 3 words, we need the French word for I ate, okay? And in French, the word for I ate is j'ai mangé. So all these 3 sentence starters are followed by the word j'ai mangé, I ate. For example, yesterday I ate, and then for the last part of the sentence, you guys can choose what you ate yesterday. Maybe you ate some chicken, du poulet. Maybe you ate some cake, du gâteau, okay? The last part is easy. That's just you guys can choose whichever, okay? It's the first part that we need to make sure we get right, okay? So the green sentence starters go with the green box after, okay? So let's add in 3 more. We've now got normalement, normally, aujourd'hui, today, and d'habitude, usually, okay? Now, these need a different word to follow on because you can't say normally I ate some chocolate, for example. That doesn't make sense. You can't say usually I ate some bread. You need to say I eat, okay? So we need to find the word for I eat, which in French is je mange, I eat or I am eating, okay? So all the purple words go with the purple box. Again, we can't have the green sentence starters with the purple box because we can't say yesterday I eat or last week I eat. We need to say yesterday I ate and last week I ate, okay? So green goes with green and purple goes with purple. And the last 3 words, we've got à l'avenir, which means in the future, la semaine prochaine, which means next week, and l'année prochaine, which means next year. And what I want you guys to do is just have a quick think about what would come next in English. So in the future, something, some fish, for example, okay? What would the missing part of the sentence be? In the future, some fish. So hopefully you thought that the missing part is I am going to eat, okay? And in French, that is je vais manger. Je vais manger means I'm going to eat, okay? So the blue sentence starters go with the blue box following on, okay? You can't say usually I'm going to eat, or you can't say yesterday I'm going to eat. It has to be one of these three. In the future I'm going to eat, next week I'm going to eat, and next year I am going to eat. So what I'm going to do now, so I am going to read out a sentence in French, and what I want you to do is try and figure out what sentence I said and write it down, okay? So I'm going to say the sentence a few times, so please don't panic if you miss it the first time, because I'll say it again, okay? So all I want you to do is try and write down the sentence that I say in English. And if you can manage this, that is a very impressive skill to have, because already you can understand what's being said in French, okay? So your first sentence is normalement, je mange. Normalement, je mange de la pizza. Normalement, je mange de la pizza. Okay, I'll say it one more time. If you need to pause the video to write it down, you can. Normalement, je mange de la pizza. Okay, so I said normalement, normally, je mange, I eat, de la pizza, some pizza. Normally, I eat some pizza, okay? So if you got that right, that's very, very impressive, okay? So we're going to try again with another one. And once again, same thing. I want you to try and write down the English, okay? So, l'année dernière, make sure you're listening very carefully to the last word. L'année dernière, j'ai mangé du fromage. L'année dernière, j'ai mangé du fromage. So, l'année dernière, j'ai mangé du fromage. Again, pause the video if you need a little bit longer. So I'm going to tell you what I said now. So I said, l'année dernière, j'ai mangé, so last year I ate, du fromage, some cheese. Last year I ate some cheese. So if you got that, amazing. Well done. I am very, very, very impressed. Okay, so we're going to do it one more time, but this time I'm going to say it in English, and you have to try and write down the French, okay? So it's a little bit more challenging this time, but I'm sure you guys can do it, okay? So the sentence that I want you to write down is, in the future, I am going to eat. In the future, I am going to eat some snails. Ooh. In the future, I am going to eat some snails. So pause the video here to write down your answer. And I'm going to tell you now what you should have got. So if you're still writing, just make sure you do pause it. So you should have written, à l'avenir, je vais manger des escargots. À l'avenir, je vais manger des escargots. And that means in the future, I am going to eat some snails. So once again, if you got that right, I am so impressed with you. Well done. Give yourself a tick. Okay. So we have one last activity to do in your French lesson today. However, to do the activity, you probably need to see this screen at the same time. So if you want to if you can print this screen out, please do. If not, could you maybe take a picture of it or something like that? Just so that you can see it, because you'll need it to help you with the next activity, okay? So, moving on. We are now going to create some sentences using what we have just learned, okay? And these sentences are going to be very random. You are not going to decide what they are, because you are going to use a dice to decide your sentences, okay? So if you have a dice at home, that's perfect. And if you don't have a dice, don't panic, because you can search on your device online dice. If you search online dice, you should be able to get one on Google, okay? That you can just click on and it will roll the dice for you, okay? So how this is going to work is you are going to roll the dice one time, and you're going to write in the number that you get in the first box here. So you might get the number 2, and so you'll write 2 here. And then you're going to roll the dice again and write your second number that you roll in this box here, okay? So you should have 2 numbers in these 2 boxes, okay? And this is going to tell you what your sentence is going to be. So the first roll is going to tell you what your sentence starter is going to be. So if you rolled, for example, a 3, your sentence starter is going to be aujourd'hui. Okay, so you are going to create a sentence using aujourd'hui at the start, okay? Then your second roll is going to tell you what food item you're going to be eating, okay? So, for example, if you roll a 2, your food item would be des escargots, which is snails, okay? So you've got your sentence starter and your food item, and your job is to create the sentence based on those 2 numbers, okay? So if we look back at aujourd'hui as our example, so aujourd'hui, we need to remember, goes with je mange. So we have to follow it with one of these 3, okay? And if we look, aujourd'hui is purple, so it goes with je mange, I am eating. Today, I am eating. And your sentence ending is des escargots, okay? So your French sentence is going to be aujourd'hui, je mange des escargots, okay? So you would write that sentence in the box, or if you do this on a piece of paper, you just write it out, where it says French sentence. Okay, so you'd write, aujourd'hui, je mange des escargots. Then what you have to do is then write that sentence in English, okay? So figure out using this what that sentence means in English. So hopefully you should get, today I am eating some snails, and then you need to write that in the box that says English sentence, okay? Now you have room to write 5 sentences in the table here. And if you manage to do 5 sentences, I am going to be so impressed with you if you can do 5, fill in 5 of these columns, because that is amazing practice for writing in French, and you're going to be so good by the time we go back to school. You're going to be basically fluent in French, okay? But if it seems like really, really tough for you, you're getting really tired, I want you to do at least, so minimum 3 sentences, okay? 3 sentences is the minimum, and I'll be happy, okay? So 5, if you can manage that, is amazing. But if that seems like a lot of writing to you, I want 3 minimum, and that will make me very, very happy French teacher today, okay? And if you feel like this is so easy and you need more of a challenge, at the bottom, you've got a little challenge task, which says, can you make up some of your own sentences researching the words for different food items in French? So maybe you want to be very creative, put your creative hat on, and try and figure out some other French words that you want to talk about. So you might want to say, for example, if you usually like to eat burgers, you might want to add that and say, normally I eat burgers, okay? Or you might even want to tell me what you ate yesterday for dinner, in which case you would have to do a little bit of research to find the French word for whatever it was you ate for dinner yesterday, okay? So if you want to challenge yourself and do that, that is amazing as well. But once you have got your 3 sentences minimum, if you take a picture and put them on Seesaw so that I can see whether we have understood this okay, and whether we need to maybe have a little bit more help with it, okay? So remember, for each one, you need to make sure you have your middle part of the sentences. So imagine it's like a burger. The dice roll is going to give you your 2 burger buns on the outside, your sentence starter and your food, and you need to choose the correct filling, okay? Which one to go in the middle, okay? So the dice is going to tell you your sentence start and your sentence end, and your job is to write in as well the correct middle part of the sentence, okay? So that has now brought us to the end of your French lesson today. I wish you all a great week, and remember to stay safe and to keep working hard, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Au revoir!